Mama. I'm Courtney Cecil, proud mom of two boys and an organizational culture and behavior change executive. And I'm a believer in building a movement to help the burned out, overwhelmed working moms reclaim their control and free time so that they can confidently remain in the workforce without losing the sanity or themselves. Now, let's get started.
Hey y'all, I'm your host, Courtney Cecil, and welcome back to another episode of the Life Management System. So, in this one, we're going to talk about the notion of having it all. And I know there's a lot of debate, and I just want to say I tread very lightly on this topic because the last thing I want to do is to superimpose this expectation on people where they feel pressured to do more than they're capable of doing. I certainly don't want to condone the hustle culture, which sometimes it does when you talk about the notion of having it all. But I'm a believer that you can, and I believe I'm evidence that you can. So I do believe it's possible without burning out, without giving up all of yourself. But here's the kicker, friends. You can have it all, but you can't be confused with doing it all. You can, and that means a couple different things. Like, so first, let's define what it all means for you, because what having it all for you means might be different than somebody else. So as an example, for me, having it all means I get a full night's sleep. I get to work out. I get to travel. That's what lights my soul. And like seriously, probably why I work. I'm pretty sure that I would figure out a way to do a lot less than I do if I cared a lot less about travel, because that is a huge expense for me. I love happy hours with friends. Like that lights up my soul. I love all the slow nights in the lake, whether that be paddleboarding with Richard or whether that be on the boat with our friends. I love hanging out back at our pool. And of course, I love all of the really exciting career related stuff and my quality time with family and friends. So that's what having it all looks like to me. But that's my life. That's my script. That's my agenda. There are a lot of other people who value other things that I don't. So, an example of that is getting to sit in front of the TV every night. My husband does. Every single day, he ends with at least 30 minutes of TV. It is what he needs to wind down and de stress and be able to sleep. I don't value it. It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I enjoy a really good show every now and then, but I don't need that. That is not having it all to me. It doesn't involve being the PTA president. It doesn't involve taking on a special project at work, even if it sounds really fun. Because guess what? That special project means it's that much more time taking away from the things that are more important to me, like my health and my family and my friends. So having it all really needs to be defined by you. And that's part of the pressure of why people think they can't have it all. It's because they're comparing their story and what they actually value to other people's. And as I tell my clients, that means somebody else is writing the script of your life, not you. So, first of all, you got to write your own script. What does having it all mean for you? And then, second, in order to actually have it all, you got to do something differently. That's the kicker. So, that difference, my friends, that like not doing it all, that means you have to get really smart about how you leverage others. And that leverage might come in the form of delegating or building your village. But whatever it may be, it just can't be you doing it all because you can only be stretched so thin. So for me, I had no family nearby to help raise my boys, especially when they were little and things are really hard. I was traveling, y'all. I was traveling at least twice a month for work. I was gone a lot. My husband is in like a business development type role. He constantly has night events. Even now, he's gone 3 to 4 nights a week. Plus, he's traveling. We have no local family help. But the way that we were able to get around it is that we built our village. So I believe my own point of view is that because I work, I am literally making money that allows me to get rid of items that I don't consider my highest and best use. And the more that I can get rid of, the more quality time I have for myself or my family, or the more that I can put into my career and make that much more money, that I can get rid of that many more things. So I started off small when I started delegating out to others. And it's a muscle that I had to build. Trust me, it's super uncomfortable. I'm a very high controlling style person by nature because my standards are so high. I am like borderline perfectionist, or recovering perfectionist is like what I like to say. I used to not be able to let go in the way that I can let go now. But that happened over time. That happened by me building my muscle. So that way, like, I got more comfortable with other people doing things their way. I got more comfortable with things not being perfect. So I built that muscle up over time. And part of the way that I do that is starting by identifying what my highest and best use items are and aligning all of my time around that and slowly giving out the nuggets of pieces that aren't. And in fact, that is one of the big takeaways for a lot of my clients is focusing on, is it something you have to do or is it something that somebody else can do for you? So focus on things that you enjoy, those tasks that you enjoy, focus on tasks that you're inherently good at or that you just need to keep for whatever practical reason. So as an example, I this is kind of sick to say out loud. I kind of enjoy vacuuming. There's something very therapeutic for me. Like I would obviously prefer never to vacuum again if I didn't have to, but if I'm going to keep a chore, let it be vacuuming. But you know what I'm not good at and I don't enjoy cooking. One, because it has to be done every single day. My little monsters always have to eat, but I'm only okay at it. I'm really slow. I don't need to keep that. So that's something I can get rid of or a practical reason. Like maybe it is certain days of the week that I pick up the boys versus my husband picks them up because of my work schedule versus his work schedule. Those are practical reasons I might keep a task or he might keep a task. But if it's not something otherwise that's my highest and best use, I'm giving it to a child, I'm giving it to him, my husband, or I am paying to get rid of it. So we talk about this notion of paying to get rid of it. You are quite literally buying back your time. That's what you're doing. You need to think of it like that. You are buying back your time. So I am a huge believer that many working women make the mistake of buying a house cleaner before they buy a house manager. And the reason I say that is the house cleaner industry has an inherent value associated with it that is a higher ticket item than a house manager. You can often find a house manager for a lot cheaper, and that role gives you a lot more flexibility on the type of things that they do and the type of things that you give away. And I kid you not, I can find a lot of work that I can outsource for you for $100 a week that will change your life. So the things that you hate doing, I can help you get rid of. It is what I help my clients with, one of the many things I help them with. But I can help you offload all the stuff for a lot cheaper than you are probably paying your house cleaner. So, I'm a big believer in it. I literally buy back my time. It is one of the best investments I make. And now that I'm having to go into the office more, like I used to work from home. I used to be able to take a lot of, to get a lot done when I was taking meetings back when I worked from home. And now that is not possible. I'm going into the office all the time. So I've actually increased my home staff because I've had to out of necessity. I need that. So if you're not in a position or you're not comfortable spending your money on outsourcing, uh, there are a couple low to no cost items. So think about things like outsourcing age appropriate chores to your kids. Like so many people in our generation, those of us raising young kids now, are doing things that our parents made us do. Yeah, I mean, it might not have to be that extreme, but there's plenty of stuff that your kids can be doing for you. Grocery delivery, um, places like Amazon. So many of us have Amazon Prime accounts. If you live near Whole Foods, use their outsourcing. I mean, they can deliver things to you for free. A lot of grocery stores can do that. Walmart can do that for you. Think about carpool swapping with your neighbors. There's a lot of stuff like that, low to no cost. And my new game plan I've been geeking out on is using AI to plan my meals. So I have AI both plan my meals and build my grocery list, it is one less thing I have to do. It's just another form of delegation and outsourcing. Because here's the kicker. You cannot think of outsourcing as a luxury. It is not a luxury, it is a strategy and it is a survival tool. So stop thinking of it as an indulgence because it's just not. It is truly a a survival tool for the stage of life that we're in. And you can tell that I, by the way, am not taking the time to, to perfectly perfect these when I say things like that. And you are actually going to be able to hear this in the final that gets posted. I'm authentic. I'm authentically me. I am who I am. You are not ever going to get a watered down version of me. First of all, I don't value that. But second of all, it's just not how I like to show up. I like to show up very authentically. And that authenticity will often mean like raw, real Courtney, just saying things that I completely like trip over or whatever it may be. But that is it. That's just me. That's who you're working with. So anyway, okay, so outsourcing is a survival tool for the stage in life. But if you are feeling guilty about it, I want you thinking about this as an investment in your well-being. So much like a gym membership is an investment in our well-being because it is allowing us to build muscle tone, which will help with perimenopause, it'll help us age, it'll help us burn calories. This, like learning to outsource, learning to delegate out, helps with stress. Stress helps with cortisol. Managing cortisol helps your sleep. Like all of that hangs together. This is just another investment in your well being. And remember, friends, that for generations, like many generations before us, there were not dual income families where multiple people were working. There's somebody always at home able to care for the kids, care for the house, whatever it may be. They often, especially in other countries, they still do this. Like they all live together. It's a communal, multi-generational, either house or neighborhood or whatever it may be. That's just not life in America and most of Canada right now. Like that's not our life. So the way that we live, we have to do things differently. So if you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard me talk about something I call the life tension continuum. So what that essentially is the like triangular um, movement of health, wealth, and time. When you think about yourself as a child, you have plenty of wealth and plenty of time, but very little wealth. And then as you get older, when you are, retirement age or whatever, hopefully you are blessed with wealth and time, but less health. But at this stage in life that we're in right this very minute, in the messy middle, we have, most of us are blessed with sufficient health and wealth, but we are very desperate for time. And the time is what is ultimately going to help many of us manage our stress and be able to take care of ourselves. Because without having more time, we have less ability to do that. We have less ability to manage our to-do list, to be able to carve out time for self-care, that sort of thing. So buying back your time is absolutely critical. Not to mention that when you figure out how to do that and do that well, it has a positive impact on your relationship with your spouse. It has a positive impact on your sanity. It allows you to be more present for your kids and that sort of thing. So, this is the kind of topic, one of many, but one of the many topics I go really deep with my clients on. It's helping them figure out what a strategy looks like for them. Because some of them are like, you know what, Courtney? I really can't imagine a world where I have one more person that I have to manage. And trust me, I get that. I absolutely get that. I go at the pace my clients need. I work with them based on what works for them and what their resources look like, what their family circumstances look like, and that sort of thing. But know that I really do spend a lot of intentional time in this space. I also work with people like Peacock Parent. So I'm a proud partner at Peacock Parent. That is a membership-based program that gives you access to discounted services. So highly recommend you checking out Peacock Parent. I will link them in the show notes as well. But I am talking about all of this and more in a free training I have coming up. So if you're curious and you're like, okay, I'm kind of buying what you're putting down, but I need to know a little bit more, I would love if you join my free training. So it is happening on March 17th from 11 to 12:15 Eastern. I will certainly be incentivizing or offering incentives for anybody who shows up. So if you show up live, I promise there will be something there special for you. But if it's not something that you're able to actually carve out of your time, if you register, I'm going to send you the recording too. So you can get that link in your show notes, or you can sign up at www.workingmomsmovement.com/live dash training. Again, that is on March 17th at 11 o'clock Eastern. But anyway, friends, I'm always anxious to hear from you on Instagram. That is exactly what inspired this specific podcast. It is your request and the things and content you're interested in that make me show up every day to do what I do. So message me on there, follow me at Working Moms Movement, subscribe, rate, and review us so you don't miss an episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. But until next time, friends, if nobody's told you lately, you're doing a great job. You've got this, Mama.